up, folks? You are tuned into the Failing Frequency. I am Ethan.
And I'm Mike.
We like talking about Star Trek.
We do indeed. And what are we talking about this week?
We got some. We got a few bits of Star Trek. We got some fuck ups. We got a glow up. And then we're going to be talking about this week's episode of Star Trek Lower Decks, Larry Niven's Ringworld.
Yeah, pretty much. In the, what is it, in the bosom of Vexilon or something like that.
Yeah, in someone's bosom.
Yeah. I'm all about the bosom.
It could be. I can think of a few worse places to be.
But before we start on any of that, how are we doing? How are you doing in particular?
Mate, I'm amazing.
You're amazing.
I am loving fatherhood so far. So far. I have a little daughter, little Peanut, as we've been calling her, because you know when we first found out that we were having a little kid, she was the size of a peanut. That's not a real name, but I think it's wise to not. You know,
it's probably good not to pass out kids' names online and stuff
right?
like that. Yeah,
You know,
Peanut's a good enough name for
Peanut's
online.
a good enough name. Yeah, she was born at like 2:45 in the morning on Saturday, the 9th of September.
Yeah.
And today I looked it up to see who she shares a birthday with. And guess who she shares a birthday with? Two people of note. Let me get his name up.
If it's William Shatner, I'm going to go mad.
Yeah, man. Let me get his name up because there's two people of note, like I said. Okay, so one, whatever his buddy name is the voice of Armus.
Okay, yeah.
And the second one, like, made me pause. It's Jeffrey Combs.
Ooh.
So Peanut shares a birthday with Jeffrey Combs, which made me immediately suspicious of Peanut.
I mean, are we sure she's not just Jeffrey Combs in disguise?
How do we know?
He's a very good actor.
How do we know that you are not Jeffrey Combs, little baby?
Yeah.
I mean,
Peanut.
that would be...
Or Jeffrey Combs as Peanut.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all good in the hood. Mama's is fine. Papa's is great. Peanut is just a squishy little potato.
They love it when you poke that real soft spot of the. Head.
No, don't! You know. I've got such a like. I'm like, honestly, my partner's like, she's not made of glass. She's fine. I'm like, you know, I'm like, what if I don't know my own strength? And then my partner's just like, I could beat the shit out of you. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. So, but like, yeah, I am like, I'm getting a bit better because I was like, I don't think she's made of glass, but sometimes I do think that she's just made of like really dense, like foam, like where I could just like pass through her. But
yeah.
But yeah, how about you, man? How was you had fun last week?
I had fun. I was man alone, talking direct to the audience rather than yourself for 50 minutes, really. And I only went slightly stir crazy. So I think that's pretty good form. Good form. I was hoping it was going to be a nice short show because obviously one person's opinions are quicker than two persons' opinions and stuff like that. And there's less rapport when it's you by yourself. And then it was that double episode and short treks and trek day and stuff like that. It just kept going on.
Just to mess with you.
Yeah. Oof. Terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was at the next day. I went to see Undiscovered Country: First Contact in '09 in the cinema,
Oh,
which is always
cool!
fantastic. Yeah,
Very
that was
cool.
great.
How was
Yeah.
Undiscovered Country? Like
Oh,
on
the
the big
best,
screen?
the best.
Is it like
Easily.
restored?
No, it didn't look like the restored copy to me, and it wasn't the version where it wasn't the director's cut. Where Odo is underneath the Klingon mask at the end,
Oh yeah,
or Rene
Rene
uh,
Auberjonois.
Auberjonois wasn't under the mask at the end, but it was really good and probably the best of the three.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, man.
so
Sweet. How
very
did
glad I
those
got to
models
see all them.
look? How did those
The models
models
look
look on the big screen?
fantastic.
Oh
I
God.
it's one of my favorite shots in Trek, that the Excelsior peeling off at the end as the Enterprise goes and then starts flying into the sun. And oof, big screen, lovely.
Yeah, man.
Oof,
God, I miss
yeah,
models.
yeah, yeah.
I don't mean that in a creepy way.
No, I mean you can certainly go online and look
Hey,
up
no, man.
models.
I used to do modeling. I used to hang out with models. Let me tell you something. I
Yeah,
do not miss models.
no. But why male
Models are the
models?
worst. Oh, but why male models? Why
Yeah. Oh, fun, fun. Anyway,
male models are even worse?
should we start talking about the actual,
Let's start
let's
talking.
go on
Let's
to the
start
big
talking
show.
about Star Trek. What
Yeah.
shall we start off with? I'll tell you what. Let's start off with my favorite story, just because it's so very silly, and it is, of course, the return of our old nemesis, Paramount.
Oh, yeah. What have they done this time?
Well, on top of the world's worst streaming service and poor logistical planning around certain tentpole celebrations. Is that the right word? Tentpole?
Yeah, yeah. No, that's the word.
Um, Star fucking Jesus. I don't even know. Can't even say it. Paramount released Star Trek Picard Season 3 on Blu-ray and DVD. I'm going to send you this link so you can see what I'm talking about on Messenger. They released Star Trek Picard Season 3 on Blu-ray. And, in the last episode where we see the Enterprise D flying up to the camera,
Yep.
that shot on the Blu-ray is the sort of previs shot. It's an earlier
Okay.
test graphic.
Yeah.
Yeah, they released it with the wrong shot.
I
They
mean,
released it with a production clip.
it's not too much of a surprise though, because as this article says, when episode 10 came out, there were people going like, that version is different than the one I saw, because there was, it was a different version in the EU on Paramount Plus compared to on on Amazon. It was a different version to Paramount Plus, depending on what region you were in. And people were like, "What the?" One's sort of classic, just flying towards the screen TNG style, and one of them's got more camera action.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, classic,
honestly.
classic. At least it wasn't like a full previs of just like a chalkboard with someone writing Enterprise D here and flies towards the screen. You know.
It's just oh God, what next? What next, eh?
Yeah.
I
Well,
like the way this article says that this isn't the first time that Star Trek Blu-rays have been affected by issues like this. Back in 2012, the first season of Star Trek: The Next Generation required replacement of 3 Blu-ray discs because of audio errors and a missing VFX shot in Heart of Glory. Eesh. The remastered Wrath of Khan Blu-ray needed a replacement in 2016 following an accidental repeated shot of a Starship view screen. I mean, that's fine. It's the 80s.
yeah. But, with the remasters, they're done very cheap. And especially the TNG one, I know, they went back to the original film strip and had to do the effects again and stuff like that. Or I think they did the effects again. So, yeah, they make mistakes. Someone should be checking them. God knows, but yeah.
Yes, someone should. Someone should be checking something at Paramount Plus, but apparently that's just not a thing that they can do.
No,
it's not a thing that they've ever been good at.
Yeah. The one thing I'll give them, I will say, I prefer. We're obviously in the UK, and I have Paramount Plus. And Lower Decks at the moment comes out the same day as it does in the US. Can you imagine?
I don't believe you.
Fucking shocking. I think it's been taken off Amazon, which is a real ball ache for people who don't have Paramount Plus, like me most of the time. But same day, wow. Imagine living on one globe and everyone gets stuff at the same time. Amazing. Yeah.
Man, what is this? Communism?
Yeah. Space communism?
Is this luxury gay space communism or something?
Yeah.
Oh, man, it's so woke.
Yeah. It's just gone all broke.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so broke. Next load of fucking bullshit. Mike, remember celebrity endorsements?
I do.
Remember Kevin Bacon doing EE?
Oh, yeah. I was like... My mind went to Kevin Bacon doing E. Like,
doing E, just munching. Do you like phones?
Yeah.
What's another one? Oh, Gary Lineker, Walker's Crisps.
Walker's Crisps. I don't even know if he does the Walker's Crisps anymore, I haven't seen an advert for that long. And he's paid enough already, so... yeah, well, I can't remember the last time Trek did one before.
No, me either. But joining the ranks of Gary Lineker and Kevin Bacon and Dave Bautista doing Mortal Kombat. Not doing Mortal Kombat, but advertising it. Star Trek has partnered up with hip-hop superstar Kid Cudi to collaborate on the Boldly Be project. They released a little teaser with Kid Cudi on the bridge of the reboot Enterprise.
The one set that they've still got standing.
The one set that's still standing.
Yeah.
He looks really creepy. It's really weird. It's a really bizarre little clip.
Yeah.
He just stands up.
Stands up and does this towards the camera. So bizarre. Yeah.
But yeah, he claims that he's been a lifelong fan of Star Trek and he used to watch it with his dad, much like many of us. StarTrek.com says the collaboration includes Kid Cudi's unique lens on music with an original song inspired by Star Trek, an interactive gaming component, and a bold fashion collaboration with Star Trek that will launch this October. Additional details will be announced at a later date.
Okay, so let's predict these. So, what was it? Music first? So what do you think that's going to be? Is he just going to mention Star Trek in one song?
Just a song that he might mention in it, but the music video will be Star Trek-y.
Okay, yeah. He'll do it on that bridge set, maybe.
Probably.
a gaming component, that song will be in Star Trek Online. Is what I'm saying for it. Because what else can it be?
I don't know.
Literally, what else? You know, he's not going to be in Star Trek Infinite, or maybe he is. Maybe his picture is going to be like one of the generals or stuff like that. Because God knows, there's not many other Star Trek games going to be coming out soon.
Maybe it's going to be like a temple run type game.
Yeah, maybe something real cheap to produce. You know,
yeah,
copy
something
and
really
paste
cheap,
assets and stuff like that.
Candy Crush.
Yeah,
like Tribble Crush.
Star Trek Timelines. Do you want to play as Kid Cudi? Have him on your ship? Yeah.
Yeah. Have his. Well, it's like cards kind of thing. So it's like, do you want Kid Cudi's card?
Yeah.
You want the Kid Cudi card?
Kid Cudi card. And clothing. So I reckon that's a hoodie and a pair of shoes at most.
Mm-hmm. Yep. T-shirts.
Yeah. I reckon that might be past them.
Maybe.
It's too adventurous to do, really.
If anyone at Paramount is watching this and thinks, "Oh shit, we should do a T-shirt,"
yeah,
that is on you.
Like, oh my god, T-shirts, yes.
I
was wondering what this was.
Well, I mean, Kid Cudi has done fashion. He's done a fashion before. I looked up Kid Cudi fashion, and his main sort of contribution to the world of fashion appears to be this stripy shirt that everyone seems to love. They're like, he's completely revolutionized the world of stripy shirts.
Wow. Oh, what fun. See, I won't be as down with it as the kids or whatever, let's say, because I'm a crusty old man. When's the last time you heard of Kid Cudi outside of this?
Day and night.
Yeah.
He did that other tune with Kanye that was meh, but the video was really cool, which I then looked up and I was like, oh, that's like a million years old now at this point as well.
Was that because I know Pursuit of Happiness as well, which is, or I knew it when I looked it up last week. I
think he was in something. Like, I think he did an acting.
He did an acting.
Oh yeah, he made Intergalactic. Was he like in
Intergalactic?
Oh no, Intergalactic. Oh no, that was a movie. I thought it was a film. All of his albums do have like space themed films. I was thinking of a film.
Yeah,
that looked spacey and animated.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? The one that's like in Spider-Verse style animation. Yeah, that's it. A adult romantic comedy. I watched about 10 minutes of it when it first came out. It was okay. It was wildly okay.
Oh, it's a TV special.
Yeah.
How long is it?
Longer than 10 minutes. Longer than when I quit out on it.
92 minutes.
That's what they call a movie. 92 minutes is a movie.
Yeah, it's premiered on Netflix.
Yeah.
Why is it called a TV special? God, we're just going fast and loose with things nowadays.
Yeah.
That's a movie, guys.
That's a movie.
That's fine.
If you're going to call Red Notice a movie and Grey Man a movie, call that a movie.
Yeah. I mean, maybe if they called it a movie, they might have had to pay people more. We would have had to pay the animators more.
True. That does factor into it nowadays.
We would have called it a feature-length music video, but we would have had to pay them more.
Yeah.
But yeah, good for you, Kid Cudi. I'm looking forward to it. I hope it's good. Do you remember years ago, Adidas Originals did a collaboration with Star Wars? and there was fucking shitloads of. Oh man, there was so much sweet friggin' Adidas Originals Star Wars gear out. I always really wanted. There was a pair of high tops that were designed after Princess Leia's gold bikini.
Okay.
They were sick.
Someone should really just do sandals that are designed after.
Oh no, they had Yoda. They had like a Yoda themed soft shoe.
Okay.
Yeah, it was nice.
Fun.
But yeah, hopefully we get some cool gear out of that.
Yeah, and hopefully, it drags, not necessarily, we're not the target market, clearly, because we don't know what the fuck Kid Cudi's doing with his life, but maybe there are people who are the target market.
Hey, I'm cool, I'm hip, I'm down with the kids, I know what's,
You're a father now.
Up. I know what's up.
You're at best a DILF.
Yeah, mate, I identify as a DILF. I'm a total DILF. I friggin', wait a minute, it's mid cap vibes.
Do you know how much of a an old man thing it is to just start quoting like words they know that are like hip words I say, knowing in my head.
Yeah, mate. Okay, boomer.
There we go. Yeah.
But if October is too long to wait for you to update your fit, for you to
I know you're a young person.
Last year, Fluvog released a pair of you can get the boots from Star Trek Strange New Worlds, and they're very nice boots. They are grade A FMBs, nice high tops, love them riding boots. But if you're the kind of person that thinks I'm not so sure high tops are going to work for me, they're a bit of a statement piece.
Yeah,
if you want to maybe get away with something a little bit more low key, I've just sent you a link. Fluvog is now releasing a low top cut version that are only about ankle high.
Yeah.
Which are nice. They're nice boots.
They better bloody be real leather, I tell you that.
They better be real leather, especially if you're shelling out. So we got 339 euros. I looked that up. That's $360. How much is that in pounds sterling?
In human pounds. That's ridiculous. I mean, cosplayers.
£290. That's not too bad.
$290. Cosplayers might get them. Like if you aren't after a cheap cosplay, you're after a how screen accurate I'll even spend the world to get it. Maybe some of those will get it. Yeah. But I don't see why you would. Just buy a normal pair of black boots and glue on a strip and an insignia on the back.
I mean, please, if I had more money than sense, I probably would get a pair of these. These would be I would wear these probably a lot, to be honest.
Really?
Just because they're Star Trek-y. And I would get the high top versions. And I would wear those for special occasions.
Marching around like a Nazi.
No. Just, swaggering around like a space cowboy.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, it wouldn't be something I get. I've got the occasional leather boots. But yeah, not one like that. And I won't have one like that.
Not at that price. Geometric. They're weirdly geometric.
Very square, big toe.
People are a lot more adventurous with fashion these days,
Yeah, certainly than
Um,
me. Yeah.
that's pretty much it for the news. I'll briefly mention that there's going to be some pretty cool looking figurines, Lower Decks
Hmm.
figurines coming out. They look kind of sweet. They make me think that maybe Lower
Yeah.
Decks would look good as a stop motion thing.
Yeah. My only complaint on the figurines is, there's one of Boimler, one of Mariner, and two of Badgie. And last time I looked at the Lower Decks credits, of the four people in Lower Decks who are the main cast, two of them aren't Badgie.
What you were you don't remember when they did the Lower Decks Strange New Worlds crossover? We were like, yeah, it was cool to see Boimler and Mariner, but it would have been nice to get a little glimpse of good Badgie and evil Badgie.
Yeah, it's maddening to me that how, and I've said it for a good season now. Tendi and Rutherford are just thrown to the side. It's very much the Boimler and Mariner show. But you would have thought, it's no extra effort, or it's very cheap extra effort because you'll easily make the money back to make Rutherford and Tendi little models, little toys. But now,
Be nice.
ridiculous. Yeah.
Meh. And you mentioned Star Trek Online earlier. There's the second episode of the new story arcs out soon, or it's out now, and we've got get this, Mike.
I
Um,
saw it.
he's working with Captain Ensign Kim.
Yeah. I mean, you can tell it's fan fiction when Ensign Kim is anything but an ensign. I just didn't know it was written by Ensign Kim.
Yep.
you know.
Yeah, Captain Ensign Kim.
Yeah.
I played the first level of it, and just seeing this now, like, yeah, there's some other shit going on. There was Tholians in it. Now it looks like there's Borg.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Whatever. What can we do, eh? Just Star Trek Online is going to
Gonna
keep
keep on keeping on.
keep going. And how
Yeah,
old
man.
is it now?
It's
It's
like
got to
it's
be a
13
decade.
years old. I think it came
Ouch.
out 2010, maybe.
Yeah.
Ish. And like it is like flawed.
Yeah.
But like in terms of like it desperately needs to be shut down briefly.
Yeah.
um it desperately needs to be shut down and upgraded. But
Anyway,
yeah.
should we go and start talking about the
Yeah, man.
episodes of the week?
Yeah, let's do the episode. Let's do the Lower Decks episode, and then like we can. Did you watch the very short trek?
I did watch the very short
Yeah,
track.
we'll squeeze through that at the end.
Okay, cool. So the episode for this week is Lower Decks Season 4, Episode 3, In the Cradle of Vexilon, which is, there's a Mitchell and Webb sketch where, oh, hail Vectron!
Yeah,
That's all it reminds me of. Non-spoilers, what did you think of the story?
yeah, it's good. Like I tell you what, it actually like Lower Decks is so often a like workplace comedy sitcom with like Star Trek themes. This episode
Yeah.
felt a bit more like a episode of Star Trek,
Yeah,
you
I can
know,
see that.
with workplace comedy themes,
Hmm.
you know.
Yeah, there's
Um,
one half of the
yeah.
episode that's workplace comedy, isn't there? And then there's,
Hmm.
yeah. I thought it was on the okay side of good. So, there's character building for two characters in there. One of them is part of the main cast. One of them is a new edition, or the new
Hmm.
edition. Um, I don't think the half of the story with everyone else works as good. And it's them being separated again, which I always have a bee in my bonnet with. I don't think it's particularly funny an episode. If you count the amount of chuckles you had, is it more than like 2? I don't know. But yeah, it was better on the character development than it was on the funny side, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Do we have anything else in non-spoilers, or should we just keep barreling through?
Plenty of references. So many references.
Yeah. A good number, but they're all shoved into the side plots, into the reference side plots that which I've got an opinion on, obviously. But the story itself, so it's Boimler's first mission as a lieutenant junior grade, swapping power terminal converters things on a ring world, while Captain Freeman tries to fix some problems with the ring's computer AI. Boimler's worried about giving his ensigns orders and for their safety, so he's trying to do a 4-person mission by himself, in the guise of showing them how to do it right. When Freeman tries to perform a system update, she crashes the whole AI and the whole ring world turns to shit. T'Lyn talks Boimler into using his team to finish off the job, which they do, but not without the power station exploding and momentarily killing Boimler. Dr. T'Ana revives him and ransom commends him for his first death as an officer. And on the Cerritos, the rest of the lower deckers are tasked with scanning every isolinear chip on the ship by hand, which they think is a hazing. Because of that, they decide to get back at the lieutenant that gave them the job and booby-trap his quarters, which they have to speedily undo when they realise that's not the case. And as part of that, Rutherford has to speed run the Move Along Home game. The end.
Yay!
So yeah, yay. So yeah, where do you want to start?
First off, this episode had 2. I joked about at the start. It had 2 Larry Niven references. We had a ringworld. We had a ringworld. We had a ringworm from the Ringworm series. And we saw the return of Ensign Taylor, the Kazin.
Okay, yeah.
The cat good. That's not a Cation.
I didn't even connect
from Larry Niven's Known Space series, both of which are on my Audible wish list.
Oh, very good. Yeah. It felt. They don't seem to do much in it for me, considering it's a Dyson ring or a ring world or a Halo or whatever you'd want to call it. They don't seem to do much with it for me. For all we know, this ring world is connected to the Dyson sphere in TNG. Relics.
Ancient.
It's old.
I think it's I think in terms of like scientific proposition, I think it's literally also known as a von Braun wheel.
I'm guessing he was a Nazi scientist. How close am I?
Well, there is the Nazi scientist Victor von Braun, which might have something to do with it. And I think Werner von Braun. That was it, Werner von Braun, who was a aerospace engineer for the Nazi Party. Oh, there's a picture of him with Fritz Todt. Great. Werner von Braun, though, he was part of Operation Paperclip.
He was useful to the Allies, yeah.
He helped get us to the moon. So, and he was
in For All Mankind.
He's
Very
on
happily.
there. I don't think it's there anymore. I think they removed it, but for a while you could go on Disney Plus and you could see Werner von Braun's Disney presentation on how a rocket works.
Ooh.
Yeah. But the von Braun wheel was originally proposed by Konstantin Konstantin Tsiolkovsky. But yeah, so von Braun wheel. I love it. Larry Niven, the king of hard sci-fi.
Yeah. Impenetrable sci-fi.
King of what is going on? Yeah, cool. So yeah, that was like the first thing that really jumped out at me about this episode. The second thing that jumped out was that we are back on a planet that is controlled by a computer.
Yeah. I like how throughout the episode, a good number of times, it's, Starfleet is checking that it is a benevolent computer.
Yeah,
They're
not
like,
trying to
and it's not subjugating
subjugate you or
anyone, is it?
anything.
It's oh no, you've reset it to factory settings. Is it going to subjugate
Yeah,
people and all that? Yeah.
yeah. Like they're like, oh man, it's starting to lag, and I'm like, it could be worse.
Yeah.
It could be subjugating you. It could be controlled by just a long line of dead children.
Yeah. It could be getting half of you to walk into suicide booths because it's decided that some of you need to die, which I think was Landau from TOS.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all the people on the planet are these fucking hippies, artists, and poets who have no idea how anything works.
Yeah,
And
including art, apparently.
Yeah, I did like Ransom's critique of the statues, where they go like, "Oh, even my art has suffered." What a clumsy form of expression. And they go, "They're our finest pieces. These others failed." Yeah.
That's art, though. Am I right?
Yeah.
Maybe if they had a fucking urinal turned on its side.
Ugh, what is it? Tracy Ullman?
Yeah,
that.
a tent filled with the names of all your lovers.
Yeah, a dirty bedroom. I could make this bedroom dirty. It wouldn't be a piece of art.
I saw that at the Tate, and let me tell you something.
Yeah,
it was gross.
Yeah, I've seen it as well, and it's just not good. It's just bad.
Yeah,
a stack of clothes.
Like, sometimes art is terrible.
That it be.
Yep.
Yeah, but then we've got, I suppose, Freeman trying to fix it because apparently we learned she was a specialist in ancient computers of some sort.
She minored in ancient computers, so she wasn't really a specialist.
Yeah.
But she studied it while she was studying the thing that she was studying.
Yeah.
You know? That it's oh gosh. Oh, I got cramp. Oh, I got monster cramp. Oh.
I'm keeping this all in.
Oh man. I tell you what, my leg is on fire right now.
Oh.
I'm in so much pain.
Why male models?
Yeah, no, like I that's what I mean. Like, what I quite liked about this episode was like it was very much kind of like a Star Trek episode. They go down to a planet. They're dealing with some sci-fi shit, but then it's like it becomes kind of like a workplace shambles. You know, the boss like rolls their sleeve up. They're like, I know how to computers. I used to own shares in IBM. I can
like a Nazi would.
Like, she starts rolling up her sleeve. She's like, yeah, we just need to fucking do this. And then it just the cascade of problems that come from her just not calling the IT guy down to do it.
It is very
You
relatable
know?
for anyone who's tried to fix a computer, really, or install an update and it's like, oh, it's frozen. Well, I'll just do this. Oh, it's broken. Oh, it's blue screen of death. Oh, crap. It's deleted
Yeah.
everything and gone back to factory settings. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, very relatable stuff, um, at least. But yeah, so there's that side of the story, and all that, with Ransom not really doing much there. It's mainly a Freeman sort of job.
Mhm.
Um, and then yeah, there's the Boimler one, which is the A plot easily, where it's
Really?
him. Yeah, it's got to be.
Oh yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah. Well, it's the
Huh.
one with a message in it, and it's the one
Yeah.
the episode is named after, and
Yeah.
characters change throughout it. No one really changed. Well, I suppose people kind of change in the B plot. Um,
Yeah. The computer changed.
no, the computer came back exactly like it was 6 million years ago, or whatever.
No, yeah.
It's the same. But yeah, but Boimler, and going having a first mission and having these ensigns under him who were at the same rank as him last week, really. Um, and him not really trusting them, or worried about their safety and stuff like that. And the part of that worked for me was the Talin stuff. Um, her coming up to him beforehand and saying, oh, have you concluded your confidence ritual?
Yeah, love
Um,
that.
and he's saying to her, let's start doing some science stuff. It's like everything that has ever happened is science. you know,
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Talin seems to she seems to be like a lot of Vulcans. You know, very much aware of the sort of neurotic intricacies. The funny little foibles that humans have. But she doesn't seem to have any judgments about them.
yeah,
He's like, oh, he's doing that thing that humans do, where they talk to themselves to psych themselves up. I have seen this.
even when she gives him like the pep talk, and then he goes off and goes, "I'm going to go and have to put you in danger," and she's just like,
Yep.
"That is not how I would phrase that, or it's not how
No,
I would conclude that conversation."
not exactly how I phrased it, but basically.
Yeah, yeah, I can see it fitting in very well with the rest of the lower deckers. That being
Hmm.
said, will she ever get, if she starts getting scenes more than Tendi and Rutherford, what's happening here again? They're supposed to be main cast members.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, him. I thought it's a fairly understandable and relatable story for him as well. So that whole side of the plot, that everything on the ring, I thought was very very relatable and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Light,
Nice, yes,
um,
better.
light better. Um, yeah, because all it ends up being them doing, if you break it down, really, they're just changing the batteries in the remote. Um,
Hmm. Yeah,
yeah,
but but it's and it's annoying when there's a knack to something.
yeah,
When there's a trick to doing something, and you've got a bunch of newbies, and you don't necessarily have time to show them how to do it.
yeah,
I've had that working in hospitality for years, and sometimes you'll find yourself on shift with two new people, and they're all serving at the bar, and then suddenly one of them turns around and says, "Do you know how to make an espresso martini?" And the other one turns around and says, "Do you know how to make an amaretto spritz?" And you just go, "I'll do it. I'll
yeah,
just do them." And then the next thing you know, you making 50 fucking cocktails in the
yeah.
space of, the half an hour,
It
because you
is. It
don't
is
have
like a
time to
hard
show
thing
them
to
how to
learn.
do it, you
Yeah,
know? and that's
it
what
is a
Boimler's
hard
doing.
thing to learn. Like anytime you start having people under you, or I just say training them, where you go, I could do this in 10 minutes, but training them and then getting them to do it will take 2 hours. And you're just
Yeah,
like, oh crap, well, it's time sensitive. Do I do it or do I train them? And you're like, eventually, if you just do it all, there's no point having people under you, and you don't end up doing your job, you end up doing theirs as well.
exactly. You know,
So
the only way they're going to
shit.
learn, like I always say, the best way to do anything, the best way to learn to do anything is to do it. You know, learn by doing is very much my ethos. You know, I have a new job now. I'm out of hospitality. I'm in customer service. I work from home. It's amazing. This from here. You know, look, wait. Let me show you this. Let me show you this. Where is it?
Ooh. He's going for that
Hi,
DILF work
hi,
at
you
home
through to
energy.
Ethan. Hi, you through to customer service. How can I help? I
I
am
mean,
here to help.
you
I'm here
lose
to
those
help.
coolness points from before by talking like that, though.
But like, you know, I was doing all, you know, my first like week or so, I was kind of just doing admin tasks, and then they were like, "Yeah, we're probably gonna, you know, we'll have you taking calls like at the end of next week," and I was like, "I can start taking calls now.
Yeah.
I
I
can
have
just."
answered phones before.
I've
Yeah.
answered phones. Like I know the basic gist of what to do. You can listen in. Like there's only so much I can learn from listening to you guys taking phone calls. Like you know.
And people learn differently. Some
So
people
you
do
know.
learn by watching, but you know, or some people learn by doing or writing it or listening to it. You know, you've got to work to the people, learn to the people you're training.
Yeah.
It's how you got to do it, really. And that's what you
Yeah,
see
man.
in this episode. You see the three ensigns going like, "Oh, you know, oh, we didn't get it. Can we do one?" Sort of thing. And yeah, he
Yeah.
just doesn't let him do
It's
it.
you know it's the you know the theme of this episode. You know certainly to me anyway seems to be like about delegation. About you know the right tool for the right job, the right person for the right job, and you know being comfortable with delegating tasks.
Yeah.
You know, Freeman definitely should have delegated the computer stuff to the computer guy. Boimler shouldn't. You know, there's a bit where he says like, you know, I was the same rank as them last week. You know what makes me worthy to you know what makes me what's the word he used? You know
Why have I
who
been
am I?
elevated? Yeah.
Yeah, why you know oh god I can't talk. You know why is it
You've
okay
got
for
baby
me to tell
brain.
them what to do? And it's
Yeah.
literally because you got promoted. Like even if you
Yeah.
didn't like that's the thing. Even if you didn't deserve the promotion, like that's just how the chain of command works.
Yeah.
You know, just do
And
it.
Talin's very good with him, you know, gives him the pep talk or whatever, and then when the whole thing's about to explode and he's saying, you know, I'll do this, you guys go to the shuttle and protect yourselves. The ensigns are like, oh no, you sure? And Talin's like, he's a junior lieutenant, he gave you an order, you go. Sort of
Yeah,
thing. It's still
literally,
respect the chain of command, sort of
absolutely.
thing. Yeah. Yeah. It
And
was
then we
another
get
funny thing in that, another funny to Lynn one where in that pep talk where it's like, oh, you know, the report said how good I was. And it was like, they mention all your strengths and your failings. You know,
yeah, like
very, very honest.
at length.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then obviously he sacrifices himself and he dies. And he sees the great koala
Yeah.
in a purple room.
The purple room and outside the window. And I went back to listen to, you know, the
I could
Shax episode.
no, I'm glad you mentioned the outside the window because I meant to go back and look what was outside the window. I couldn't see out the window because I was too busy looking at the floor because it has
Okay.
the same floor as the red room in Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
And I was like,
It's definitely like a Twin Peaksy like but purple
Mm,
room, isn't it? But in the Shax episode where he starts explaining to Rutherford, how he came back from the dead, and we don't hear it all, but it kind of fades away. Well, Rutherford's like, um, before it fades away, Shax starts talking about, and there's the Black Mountain. So that's the Black
the Black
Mountain that
Mountain.
apparently everyone sees when they die, or the
Yeah,
Dark
the Black
Mountain.
Mountain
Sorry,
and the koala.
yeah,
And the koala was, I think the koala was talking backwards.
yeah. I haven't played it backwards to try and
No,
see.
but yeah,
Maybe I'll play
it's
it backwards here.
It is not your time, Redwood Boiler.
See if it says anything.
yeah. See if it says anything. Maybe he's talking. Maybe he's just making koala noises. They've just played it backwards.
Who knows?
But yeah, I enjoyed
And
that. I enjoyed
I
that.
enjoyed that, and I enjoyed the reaction of Ransom, where it was like, you're an officer, you've had your first death, and being brought back to life. It's going to get much more dangerous from here, because that's the Star Trek world where people die and just come back to life through stupid means.
Yep.
Every other week, really. So yeah, I was a fan of that as well. Yeah. And should we shift on to the boring B story
Sure.
in my mind? So yeah, we've got Mariner, Tendi, Rutherford, and they've been tasked by, I don't know, whatever his name was, a lieutenant, to scan every
Lieutenant
chip on the ship.
Fivehead.
Yeah, Lieutenant Arsehole, to scan every chip on the ship by hand. And they start thinking it's hazing because why would it ever need to be done? And they're
Why wouldn't
totally
it need
correct.
to be done? Why wouldn't
Yeah.
it need to be done?
Why wouldn't it need to be done? Why would it need to be done?
Like it's a ship system.
Yeah,
You need to check stuff.
You don't scan
There's
them all by hand.
there's hundreds of people on that ship. They need to give them all fucking busy work.
Yeah, you do need to
Yeah,
give them busy
presumably.
work. But as they say, it's kind of like ensign level busy work, really, where any sort of idiot could do it.
But they were important chips, so it's Lieutenant Junior grade busy work.
Yeah, and I suppose that although the premise of the show was lower deckers, and now they're not necessarily lower deckers, they did make sure to mention last episode or whatever that they are the lowest of the officer rank. So,
Yeah. They're still lower deckers. People still don't really give a shit about them.
No. Just because they're slightly higher than Kim, doesn't
Yep.
mean anything else. What was good in this?
I liked the room, the area, the Indian friggin' Raiders of the Lost Ark style room of anomalies. Does every ship just have like artifacts
apparently
in them?
You wouldn't think storing them next to each other would be safe,
Well, no, but apparently it's totally fine to also store the Ark of the Covenant next to a fucking crystal skull.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. What hijinks those got up to in the 40 years that they were sitting next to each other and not doing anything.
yeah, probably something.
But yeah, what do we see in there? There's a weird batleth, a spider, the Spock fighting things from
Lurpers.
Are they Lurpers?
Lurper.
Okay. An M5 computer, and then we get into the things that they actually, booby trap his room with eventually. So a Beta Z gift box from one of the shit episodes of TNG, the Wati Chula game from Move Along Home DS9, and the probe from the Inner Light, as well. Yeah, which I didn't get on my first watch. When
I didn't get it until the Betazoid gift box got zapped by it, and it's like that's a fucking horrible prank.
Yeah, Did I
Like,
live a
he
whole
made
life
you
in there?
like you think that he's hazing you, and he was hazing them, but he wasn't hazing them like by making them check the chips. He was hazing them by like giving them a fake sob story.
Yeah,
Like he was
and
just
setting
talking bollocks.
Lancelot on them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like, but like cleaning chips or checking chips, whatever they were having to do,
yeah,
against making him live an entire life.
yeah.
It's fucking
It's a bit unbalanced. He'd definitely have to see
somewhat.
Miggly Moo after that. Certainly, if he
Yeah.
wasn't seeing him beforehand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeesh. Yeah, I did like the idea of the engineer has Lancelot, the weasel, rather than Data having Spot. So ships are animal friendly, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah. Like a fucking ferret weasel thing. Definitely a worse idea for a pet. Like, because a cat can get out, wander around.
Have
Fine.
babies
Yeah.
somehow.
A
Cat
weasel
had babies.
ferret thing. They chew on shit, don't they? Don't they? Can't they get into like tight spots and eat wires?
Yeah, they are famously, annoying pets to have.
Yeah.
The kind of, a cat will like rub up against your leg as well, and a weasel will just grab onto your leg and kind of like run around it.
Yeah.
Like pains in the arse as they are. So yeah, annoying pets.
I'd like a pet moopsie.
Moopsie.
Moopsel.
I think I said it last week, but if I'm surprised if by the end of the season or by the start of next season, let's say, give them time because it's Paramount, there aren't like stuffed versions of Moopsies you can get, like as kids' toys, because they're cute as hell.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Don't forget, like as
them.
we've said, Paramount's merchandising is for shit. For Star Trek Day, they had a sale on StarTrek.com in the shop, and I looked through the shop, and there is fuck all. There's fuck all on the shop. We're having a sale. There's a big sale. Come on down to. There's like nothing there. There's like some there's some t-shirts, and there's like pint glasses. Star Trek pint glasses.
I still don't think they sell disco shirts, do they? Because mine is like, third party.
Yeah, same. I got one for my partner, and it's third party.
Yeah, ridiculous. The chance to print money and they go like, nah, seems difficult. That why would we? Why would we ever want to do that?
It sounds hard. Oh, I'll have to watch the show.
I mean, plenty of podcasters managed to set up a Redbubble store. I don't know if we can be bothered doing that. Yeah, fucking ridiculous. So yeah, it's it was good to see the a bit of the move along home game again, but it's such lightly touched because he's speed running it. It's it's a bit of fan service for nothing really.
Yeah, but it's the like his face of like is the same as everyone's face because that episode is insufferable.
Yeah, I don't mind it as a dumb episode. Yeah, so I mean that's kind of like all I had on the B story because I thought the B story, it's just not as good as the A.
Yeah.
To me, yeah. Anything else you wanted to go through on the A's or the B's or anything?
Like I say, it's no, not really. No.
Yeah.
Are we gonna do we have a moral? Are we doing a moral? Yeah, are we doing a moral of the story?
Yeah, I had for the moral of the story to have confidence in yourself and the people under you.
Yeah.
What did you have? You talked
Pretty
about
much the
yours
same.
before, I think.
Yeah, have confidence in yourself and the people around you, and underlings are there for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Learn to delegate, as you say.
Yes. And with computers and technology, don't just go poking around.
Yeah. Apparently, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In that case, then, shall we move on to the very short track of the week,
Yeah. Yes.
which is very short track, episode 2, Holiday Party. So yeah, it's
Funny.
yeah,
Very funny. Preferred it to
yeah,
this week's episode of Lower Decks. Preferred it to last week's very short treks.
yeah. I
Ain't that
definitely
right?
think this is a stronger, very short tracks than last week,
Yeah,
which was
man.
held together by one joke.
Yeah, man. Yeah, pratfalls or
Yeah,
the classic Vulcan gag of them not quite understanding something, uh, not
yeah.
quite understanding bloopers. What bloopers are?
Mm.
It had
We got Hammer back.
guts. We got Hemmer.
Yeah.
We got Hemmer. There was intestines.
Mm-hmm. That was the bit I laughed, and the only bit I laughed on it was the intestines. Really.
A guy got hit in the nuts and shot himself.
Yeah.
A guy got hit.
They said he farted. They said he farted, not
he had space diarrhea, so presumably he sharted.
Maybe.
And when they when they just played the clip of the fucking Klingon cleave ship smashing into the Europa from fucking Discovery.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
And just that as well, where I don't know if they didn't get the rights to Michael Burnham, whatever her face is, Sonequa Marketing Green and stuff like that, because it was pretty much just Saru, Random Officer, and Giorgio, wasn't it, really, on that bridge? And Saru in the wrong costume. Saru looking like he should do 400, 500 years in the future.
But I mean, it's low budget 70s Star Trek animation, isn't it? So it's like, well, that's what we have the cells for. So that's what we'll use.
And I found out as well, unfortunately, it's not Gazelle Automations that it's doing it.
Isn't it?
No, which is a shame.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
But I am loving the overall like animation style. I like the intro, the Star Trek intro that they do.
That does look great. I forgot to mention that.
It looks kind of janky and naff. Like, it looks great. That whole, love it.
Yeah, big fan of the intro. Big fan of the guts. I like the idea that T'Pring is constantly breaking up with Spock, and he's, just like, look at it's self-deprecating,
Like, well, yeah, man. He went through classic comedy staples, self-deprecating humor, pratfalls, and the classic like it's funny because normally he has legs, and like that's comedy when the absurd meets the real.
Yeah, and that's why the organs got me so much, because how absurd it was that a guy just gets transported and then falls onto the pad without his legs and his organs spill out.
Awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, I did like that bit. So yeah, I thought it was, I haven't loved either of them, but I think this is definitely the better one by far. And I'm still looking forward to all of them. I think it's 6 we've got, so we've got another 4 weeks of these, which is all good.
Nice.
Can't remember what the other ones were.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Yeah, I'm mostly looking forward to the Lower Decks one, really, which I think is episode 4. It's 4 or 5, the one where it's holodecks all the way down, I think it's called.
Holodecks all the way down.
Yeah, which
Awesome.
it's to me it feels like an Inception or the Rick and Morty where they're going through dreams as well.
Well,
Feels
you
like
know,
it's gonna
you
be
know
that.
what that's a play on words of.
Well, what is it?
Turtles all the way down.
Yeah. I know. So yeah, I know. So yeah, I think that's it for this week, though. Unless we have anything else.
Nah.
Okay, then. Then it's up for us to push on normal socials and
Yeah, man.
rating.
Threads.
Imagine what I normally say: like, subscribe, Twitter, Insta, whatever.
Yeah, man.
TikTok.
Yeah.
It's all linked below.
Yes.
And
social medias.
Social media. Something that I hate.
Leave a
comment.
Leave a comment. If I think that if people start leaving comments, we should start reading them out.
Yeah.
And if people leave abusive comments, we should start reading them out
and then mock you. We'll be abusive back.
No, we'll be probably not. We'll probably be like, that's fair.
Yeah, true.
I hate you. Fair.
Okay, yeah. Fair enough. I hate me too a lot of the time. I've got a mirror here that, I look at and go, you bastard. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Same.
Yeah. There are self-abuse mirrors, But all that said and done, as I say, comment.
Live long and prosper, you motherfuckers.
And peace and long life, double dumbasses.
I'm a father.
Father!
I'm a girl.